I'm back. I've been waiting to make this video for as long as I can remember. Your girl is finally a nurse. So this video might be a little lengthy for some of you. It's basically just, I'm gonna go over a lot of the questions that I've been asked numerous times for the past years, and I feel like I couldn't really get back to them in a timely manner, or it was just too long for me to say in a text message. So I am gonna be glancing over here because I have my tablet with my questions. Anyway, let's get to the point. The question I get asked a lot: what school do I go to, or did I attend? I'm in the state of Arizona, by the way. So I first started at CAC, so Central Arizona College. So it's a community college, and I had started there for just my prerequisites. I'm a person where I'm not patient enough for my goals. I know there's some people that are like, man, I just want this already. I want this. That's me. Like, I want what I want and I will get it, but it's going to take time, which I had to learn. So I was there for about a year, and I ended up Googling private schools for degrees, for nursing degrees that were 18 months or less, and I ended up finding a school called Arizona College. They were able to take what I had at CAC, and I think I only needed less than a year, and then starting the nursing program. Like, that's it, boom, you start the nursing program instead of being on a wait list at CAC. Because CAC, I was about done. I was almost done. Every semester I was paying in cash. I was working hard, and I took out the amount of money like every semester. Eventually I had to take out loans for the private colleges. CAC, there's always like waiting lists. They pick students that have grades from A's and B's. I did have to take an entry exam, it's a TEAS exam. And that's very similar to the HESI exam, where you're basically getting tested off your basics, and you have to get a certain amount of score in order to pass. And I started the nursing course, started fall of 2020. So I actually got pregnant with Bella during the prerequisite journey. And then I took a couple months off just to enjoy the newborn little baby stage, because I do think family is important and school will always be there for me to finish. So that's what I did. It actually was during COVID. So Bella was born literally right when the pandemic had started. The rest of the schooling was online. So our lectures were online. We had to go once or twice a week in class for the simulations. And there was only a minimum of 10 people in my class. Like, it was that strict, and we had to be separated. It was crazy. I actually liked it because I like to have a small circle, but then again, small circles with not the right amount of people creates drama, and that's what happened. I did create one good friend there, and she was good. I hope she's doing well. I think she knows who she is if she's watching this. I actually had financial issues with that school. They pretty much ripped me off. You have to pass classes and your exams with 80% or more. If you're under that, you are at risk for failing. And I do think they do that on purpose for the money. I unfortunately did not pass the first semester of nursing corps, and I failed 2 classes. And I was so sad, dude, because I was seeing people progress, and I was still set back with all these new people that are like, yay, I'm so excited. And I'm like, here I am again for the second time. I had to accept the fact that when you fail, it just makes you better. I literally was only in the semester again for less than a week, and I dropped out. They had told me that I had to pay $300 for that new semester, and then it just didn't make sense to me. Their pricings were not lining up from what they had told us from when I initially signed up. They had told me that I can pause all of my monthly payments until I graduate, and I forgot what that's called. Dang it, I can't remember the term for it. If you are a person with low income or no income at all, you have to sign up for something for you to be qualified to pause your payments until you're done with the school. And then that's when you start paying the payment. And then I don't know where they started coming up with these numbers. And we're just like, so you're telling us that these are the numbers that you could have told us from the very beginning. And they were like, yeah, And it made no sense. And before I dropped out, I actually asked for schools to transfer to, because they did give me a sheet of paper to transfer for other schools, and I had lost it. So I was like, hey, do you guys have that paper you guys gave me when I first signed up, because I'm gonna be leaving and I need to transfer to another school. And they're like, oh, we don't do any transfers or don't give out any information like that, blah blah blah. When I tell you it's all about the money, it's all about the freaking money. I called bull. It was bull. So I did my research, and the only school that would accept my credits, it would not accept my nursing credits, was Carrington College. I say stay at a community college, stay at the community college. Like, it's gonna take time. I know it is, and that's something I wish I could have advised myself, is be patient. Be patient. Less money, less financial issues. So I went to Carrington College, and I only needed 2 prereqs. Again, here we go with the prereqs. And then I actually got pregnant with Luke a few months back. So I finished the prereqs, and I was supposed to start the fall of August. What year? We're in 23, right? I was due with Luke in September. I was not gonna risk absences. I was not gonna risk having low grades. Like, literally after having a baby and then having to go back to school the next day or the week after. Like, I don't think that was fair for my mental health and for my kids and my family. I like I said, school can wait. School will always be there for me to finish. My family is important. I took from August to beginning of December off from school. And then I started the nursing core at Carrington December of 21. So I would say it was really good. I did like that first semester. We had really good instructors, and I felt like it was to the point. Also, another thing why I wish I went to community college, so that I can gain those skills, because when you get to a community college, you have to become a CNA before going into the nursing program. I guess that's a way for people to kind of get the feel of what you'll be doing as a nurse, like for ADLs. And yeah, so I did learn a lot. It's a rewarding experience, because you're helping other patients that are unable to clean themselves, are unable to feed themselves, unable to move. And that does touch my heart a lot. And I give props to CNAs, dude. I really do. You guys need to get paid more. And then here comes the rest of the semester. It was a mess, dude. Teachers were quitting. We got a teacher that left in the middle of the, literally 2, 3, 4 weeks before our finals. She was falling asleep in class, and I felt bad because she was a really old lady, but I was like, come on, they were giving her like so many classes and clinicals for a 7-year-old. Like, that was a lot of overload work for that lady. And dude, it was horrible. The school ended up passing our semester because it was that bad. I honestly do think why I was not good in pharm. It was during pharmacology and mental health, and those are the biggest thing on the Nclex. And here comes the next semester. We're like having so much hope. These new teachers that we have, and my gosh, when I tell you that there was this teacher that she looked familiar. It was like orientation day, and I had asked, hey, are you from Arizona College? And she was. Dude, I cannot tell you that I had to warn people about her, and because I had her. It's like it followed me, dude. It's like it followed me. And what do you know? It was horrible. She was not teaching. It was just coming to class and watching videos when we can do that at home. It made no sense to me. It was a waste of my time, which we do most of the time in nursing school anyway. We teach ourselves. They were good financially, so I was able to make monthly payments at a firm price. That was something that Arizona College had told me, and it did not happen. If you guys are curious, I wrote a long review on their page. Yeah, I don't really recommend Carrington College. I do think after that good semester we had, everything just kind of fell through. All the teachers were just kind of trying to pass us, and I really don't think that was fair to my education. And to what I was paying for. I don't think nursing school will prepare you to be a nurse 100%. I really do not think so. But for the knowledge and basic skills, I sometimes had to kind of teach myself and remember and watch videos, because it wasn't really a good teaching experience for me. I just kind of feel like once you're done, once you do it, you're done. That's it. How were clinicals And how many hours? Oh, I think if you ask every nursing student, how are your clinicals? You gotta do what you gotta do. You need to see the exposure of all kinds. Hi. You saying hi? There's Luke. He's like, oh, hi. You do need to be exposed to every single thing. You need to have a picture of how the staff is, how the patients are, where do you see yourself working in, the nursing burnouts. I cannot tell you how many nurses we ran into that were just burnt out. Fundamentals was hard but rewarding. That's where you learn your basics. We were at a post-acute rehab facility, and I cannot tell you how this place is not shut down yet. Like, I really wish it was shut down. We have no side bed rails. There was cockroaches in the kitchen. Nurses were pretty much almost neglecting their patients. Just to picture my family member in that bed and not getting the help they need, and it just really upsetted me. And I can get that some people are gonna say, well, there's a nursing shortage. No, when I tell you that this is a small facility with a lot of nurses on the side, they could have helped. Med passes were like boom, boom, boom. I'm crying the first day of the clinical just because of how much neglect we saw there. And we were telling the school, like, do not send students out here. Like, this is a horrible facility to get taught. Like, no one wanted to teach us. No one wanted to have a student by them. And I'm not gonna say all nurses were bad. I'm gonna say they were at least maybe 3 or 4 nurses that were good. Some of them, no filter and just no empathy or sympathy for these people, and it made me so sad. These nurses will be like, here, give the meds, here, here, here. If you are a student and you are not comfortable on giving a medication, do not give it. They do not have the right to force you or to make you pass meds. If you're not comfortable with giving insulin, I know there's a few things you cannot give. Potassium IV was something a nurse was trying to push me to give, and I said no. I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable. I'm not allowed to give that until I'm an actual RN, and I'm only a student. And this is under their license too, so them too can get in trouble for. Both of you guys actually can get in trouble for that. That's another advice I would give. Do not give meds that you're not comfortable giving. Learn about them, see how they are given, and then once you're comfortable, then you may ask to give them, or if they offer you to give. I would say the best clinicals I had was semester 5, which was technically it was med-surg, but the med-surg floor would not take nurses. So the whole time we were in the ED, we were pretty much in the trauma. We were in a trauma center hospital, and it was really sad to see some of the patients just trauma. That's what it is, trauma. I would say that what I learned is whatever you see at the hospital, don't take home. I'm trying not to cry because I honestly, I feel like all nurses get PTSD, dude. All nurses, saving another person's life or seeing traumatic on someone's body will keep it in your brain. It's like shelves in there, files in there. There's this one patient I still see in my dream when I wake up, or I just randomly think about as I'm driving. It just makes me sad how some of these patients died. There was one specific one that touched me really hard. I think some of my classmates will know. I'm not gonna say any details because it's very personal and I don't wanna disrespect the family. It really hit me and them hard. I learned not to bring it home. Take a long drive somewhere, go to Starbucks, go get a drink, go treat yourself to pedicure, manicure, go eat something. That's something I would advise. How many hours were clinicals? So it really depends. I think a lot of the med-surg clinicals were up to 90 hours or more. The less clinical hours we had was pediatrics, which I was really bummed about. We only had, I think, 3 days of it, and it was 40 hours or 45 hours. OB was also 4 days, less than 40 or 45 hours. It felt like clinicals will never end, but it goes by fast. Like I remember we're like, dang, we have 9 rotations of this. Like this is gonna take forever. And then we're already like in the 5th rotation and we're like, what? It's going by so fast. Come prepared to clinical. Always bring your stethoscope, your light, your scissors, your pencil, your notebook, because you're gonna be taking down a lot of notes. Ask questions, dude, ask questions. Even if the nurse seems like they're not interested in having a student, kill it with kindness. That's what I learned. Just in general, that's what I do. Kill it with kindness. I know they might not want to talk, but just ask like on their downtime, like when they're charting and stuff. I mean, that's technically it's not downtime, but you know what I mean? When they're finally sat down, they're just documenting, or when ever they're not doing anything. I had some nurses that had nothing to do after they were done charting, and I would just ask questions because they were not talking to me, and I don't like that awkward situation. I kind of like to break the ice. I don't do the whole, oh, where are you from, or this. I don't do that. I don't like to be buddy-buddy with preceptors that I know that are not interested in me. Just ask questions. If they don't want to answer a question, then Google it. Ask your preceptor. Ask your clinical instructor. Same thing, preceptor. As a nursing student, I feel like most of the time you are just observing because you are not under a license. You are working under someone's license. So like I said, don't do something you're not allowed to do. Don't do something you're not supposed to do unless that nurse is willing to guide you and help you with the assessments or just administering or giving an IV or things like that, okay? I had a lot of nurses that just didn't want to nurse. I'm a nursing student under their belt, and I get it. Life happens. I do feel like if you do not want a student, speak up. Don't just take a student because you're forced to. Speak up. I had a nurse that was like, I ain't taking a student, but they were kind of forced to. There was a nurse that they were trying to get me paired with because I think I was the last student to get paired with, and I had heard him under his breath, I don't want a student. For me, I don't like those type of negativity and that kind of vibe, and I get it. Like I said, life happens, there's things going on, but do not put me under someone that is gonna have that energy, because that energy is gonna build up and it's just gonna tick me off, and then it's gonna come to me not learning anything or me not really observing good things. I would say as a student, speak up, because I did speak for myself up, and I told my instructor, I'm sorry, but I'm not going with this nurse. Like, I understand that life happens, but I am not going to waste my time, and I want to be under someone that is willing, I don't expect them to teach, but willing to be understandable and just have someone like be observant or just following them around or things like that. You know, I don't expect too much from these nurses, but I do think that if you don't want a student, speak up, because that type of energy is not something that we students want, because then it also intimidates us of not wanting to be a nurse. And I cannot tell you how many nurses we ran into this. And I get it. There's gonna be some people in the comments that be like, well, nurses are burnt out and blah, blah, blah. They're short staffed. Yeah, I know, I understand. But speak up. Do not make someone feel little about themselves. Do not make them feel like nursing is so bad, or just, you know, there's always going to be ups and downs for any job, not just nursing. So that type of energy, I don't mess with. I learned to speak up for myself. I had a nurse that did not even introduce themselves or didn't even say hi or good morning, nothing like that. Me, to start off with a good vibe, good morning. Simple as that. Good morning. How long did it not take me? A second. Not even a second. Probably like point something seconds. Little things like that is good to me. I don't expect them to have full-on conversations for me. I don't expect them to be buddies with me. Like I said, I expect them to just be like, hey, good morning. My name is so-and-so. I am like in a little hurry, or you might see that I'm a little off today. You know, I just want to let you know that it's not you, things like that. You know, things like that. I used to train MAs when I was an MA, and sometimes I would tell them straight up, like, hey, it's not you, like, it's been pretty busy today. I also had a rough day yesterday, and it's kind of affecting my day today, but I just want to let you know it's not you, it's me. I'm trying my best to, you know, just be positive, but I am going to try to teach you what I can today and blah, blah, blah. That is a type of energy we need from the nurses. From those nurses even that don't even want to have a student under their wing, like, speak up. Speak up. I cannot tell you how much I just wanted these nurses to be like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't have a student with me today. It's not my day. And, you know, I'm all about transparency, not just dragging it out through the day, because then it just affects someone else's mental health, and I don't like that. I don't think this is a necessary question, but did I make nursing school besties? I did not. Did create a few friends that I will talk to here and there, but I didn't. It's not what I pictured. I have this like whole thing where I'm like, man, I'm gonna have a nursing bestie. I'm gonna study with her. I'm gonna go on Starbucks dates with her and everything. I did at Arizona College. Well, I think from being in school for so long and just transferring to different schools, I kind of just wanted to get this shit done. Sorry. I just wanted to get it done. I didn't want to have any drama in my circle, and I honestly like quiet and peace. I like to focus. Yes, you can create friendships there, but I feel like a lot of people are competitive, and that's what I learned at Arizona College is people were using each other for notes. They were using each other for answers, but they were not friends, you know. I had some people that pretended to be my friends so that they can get answers from me, and I kind of learned to just keep everything to myself. So then when I went to Carrington College, I was very quiet, and I do know a lot of people thought I was a asshole. People probably thought I was mean, but dude, when you open my shell, I will have your back. I am the sweetest person, and I will speak up for myself. I will speak up for you. I will be your BFF. But however, I do like to have a small circle. So a lot of people thought I was probably ignoring like, how do you call it? Like events and stuff. And no, I just wanted to go to school, get my things done, and just become an RN. And from there, just create friendships to wherever I work. But I honestly was just kind of overwhelmed. For those who don't know, I have been a stay-at-home mom for a few years now. And studying at home and just doing, you know, being mom at home before school was really rough. And I feel like when I went to school, it was finally a time for me to just, you know, not hearing the screaming, the crying, not yelling at the kids, not, you know, having breakdowns because the house is so dirty. Or I felt like when I went to school, it was just for me to like USA and just enjoy my Starbucks and enjoy my Chipotle or my salad and go and just study. That for me, that was a coping skill. And I think that's why I didn't really open up to a lot of people, is because I wanted to have that peace and quiet when I went to school. And I do feel bad not, you know, being as outgoing as I am outside of school. Sometimes I said it really depends on the circle. Yeah, so I did get a lot of impressions where people would tell me like, you know, I really thought you were a B, and I really thought you were mean, and blah blah blah. You know, that really makes me sad how you judge based off of people's just doing nothing. I literally would just go to class and just kind of sit down, do my work. That's it. That's literally what I did. And out of that impression, I got people calling me these words, these names, and I was really sad. Like, that's really how you guys judge and think of people? Answer that question? No, I didn't have a nursing bestie go to in school. Like I said, I had some friends around that I would talk to here and there. I do have some besties outside of school, but nursing school, no, it didn't really happen for me, and I was kind of bummed. What did I use to study for the Nclex, and how long did I study for? End of March, I graduated. because I had been in school for so long, I wanted to take a mental break. I wanted to reset myself and just enjoy my kids, enjoy the quality time with my family at home. So every single day we went to the park, we went somewhere. It was Walmart, even just walking around Walmart, like it was something for them. Was like, wow, mom, can we go to the car wash again? Like they were literally asking me to go to Walmart or car wash every single day. I was also trying to research on a good company study guide to study for the Nclex. And so I was just taking my time and just kind of enjoying myself. I was watching TV for once. I was watching a movie for once. It felt good. It felt weird not sitting on the couch and not doing homework, because that's where I was literally doing every single day. But I needed to mentally just reset. I believe in taking a mental break for a little bit and just get back on track. Have a reset, get back on track. Coming towards end of April, sorry. I had a friend, thank you, Jordan. She was like, hey, I just passed the Nclex and I'm not using Archer anymore, and I wanted to ask you if you wanted it. And I was like, oh yeah. So I ended up paying $30 to reset all the questions that she used, because heck yeah, I'm trying to use all the questions. Archer, some people might not like Archer, but I did for the questions. I did see Archer and UWorld. I saw them compared, and I can tell you the quiz bank and the rationales were literally the same. Like when I would see people post UWorld, I'm like, it looks like the same thing from Archer. I just don't know how their videos are or any of their lectures are. I do have to say Archer's reviews are pretty lengthy. So if you are wanting to sit through that whole thing, do you, girl? Because that's what I did. That's what I did. I honestly was like, we're going to get this done. We're going to do this. There were some lectures where I just kind of skipped through because she was just talking too much. I'm sorry, I forgot her name. But there was some things where she just kind of not caught my attention anymore. And I think it was just her voice. I don't know. So for the lectures that I thought were pretty lengthy, I went to simple nursing. Another one, another chef kiss there. Dude, simple nursing. I think that's why I passed. Simple nursing, I love it because it's very visual. He just talks so funny and just has these weird mnemonics that has you remember the stuff. Anything colorful, you catch my attention. Archer was just literally a PowerPoint, a blank PowerPoint with words and just her on the screen in the corner. I can't really learn things like that because then I'm just trying to write down word for word, and it doesn't really stick to my brain. I only watched her lectures just to kind of review on subjects, and then after that I would go and review simple nursing, which did take time, but it was worth it. On the side, as I was like cooking or driving, cleaning, I would put on Nclex High Yield. Dude, Nclex High Yield, so good. I do have to say they're expensive if you go into their program, which I am glad I did not spend almost, I think it was like $600 for. If you already have so many resources with you, just use it. I would just use what you think is best for you. But I only listened to his podcasts and his YouTube videos as I was driving. It's not something that I was studying based off. I was just listening to it to kind of remember everything and the content. Those are pretty much all that I used. Archer, I used all of the quiz banks, and I do have to tell you that Archer was so similar to the Nclex, like the wording, the content. So they tell you not to review for the Nclex the day before your exam, but I'm stubborn. I'm gonna do it. So I did. I think another 150 questions. And I am so glad I did. I am so glad I did, because there was a question on my Nclex of a terminology I did not freaking know when I was practicing. And I am so glad that I practiced, because that terminology was on my Nclex question. And I was like, oh, I know this because I just learned it yesterday. I mean, do what you think is best for you, but I'm very stubborn and I like to make sure I get all my questions done before the exam. So I took 3 weeks. I took 3 weeks to study. I was studying every day. It's not me to study all day, but I was studying 3 to 5 hours a day, sometimes 8. Because I do have the babies at home, I did have to pause and then extend it to later at night. I was studying mostly late at night. So if you're doing Archer, I would probably advise to watch Simple Nursing afterwards if you have time, or just kind of go more in depth with Simple Nursing after Archer. A lot of the questions I got on the Nclex were a lot of renal and mental health. I do have to say mental health was pretty huge. Musculoskeletal, which is my weakness. And I think I only got 2 farm questions. So, and then no EKGs. I got no EKGs, I got no math. It stopped me at 85 questions. Archer has these predictors, the CAT predictors, and I passed all of them with 85. And I was like, okay, well, it's because, so from what I heard is if you do well on 4 to 5 CAT predictors on Archer, you are more likely to pass the Nclex. There's also ready assessments. I only did 3 ready assessments because they took forever. Stuck with most of the CAT adaptive tests, and I passed. I actually cut off social media for 2 months before graduation just so I can focus, because I was not doing good in class. I really thought I was going to fail. I also cut off social media during the Nclex study. I only kept Instagram though. If you really need to do that, do it. I know it's going to be hard the first couple of days because you have a habit of waking up, looking at your phone, going on Facebook, like it's your news article, but it gets better. And you do realize how much time you are wasting being on social media. Now that I passed the Nclex, do I have a job? So long story short, I did have a position on hold for a new grad residency program before I graduated nursing school. And they held it for me. It was for a women's center. It's not WIS. It was a new building that they had built. I'm not going to say the company. Oh, damn. It's on my shirt. Held my position, and they were pretty much just waiting for me to graduate and pass my Nclex. They encourage you to apply at least 30 days before you graduate. Did not have my Nclex schedule until May 28th. They were so booked. I couldn't book it any earlier, and I was just like, you know what? It's gonna have to be this date. They're gonna have to wait. Week of my Nclex, they called me. They called me at like 9 in the morning. Hi, is this Ashley? And I had a gut feeling. I had a feeling. They're like, well, unfortunately, we don't have any preceptors available for your position and blah, blah, blah. They were trying to put me in other specialties that I did not want to do. I was just like, no. I told them, you know, I'm just going to have to back out on this one, and I don't want to take any positions that I know that are meant for someone else, and I know that I might not be interested in. This company, when they post new grad positions, they will not tell you what's available for the positions. That's what I learned. But I saw it coming. I didn't get hurt. I only took the position because it was near the NICU and the labor and delivery department. And the NICU is where I am trying to get to. I've been wanting to be a baby nurse or a pediatric nurse for as long as I can remember. I want to do something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and even though if it's not meant for me, then I will know. But I do have a friend that was accepted to a new grad pediatric residency or program, and I had hope. There is hope that if you're a new grad, you are able to go to a specialty that you know you want to do. Just work for it. Tell them how much it really means to you. So as of right now, I don't have anything lined up. We are trying to have a reliable babysitter. As of right now, I'm looking at NICU and pediatric positions because that's what I've been wanting to do. My advice is just be yourself. Speak for yourself. Be prepared. Always be prepared. You're gonna have some bad days. You are gonna come home crying. You are going to cry on the days you study for an exam. It's going to happen, and it's okay. If you have a go-to to speak about your emotions, go to that person to speak about your emotions, even if it's to yourself. Like I do that to myself a lot, and I know a lot of people find that weird. Or speak to God, or you know, just find the time to give yourself hours or reset day. You don't have to study all day. I can tell you that right now. You do not have to study all day. All those textbooks that you have, you might not even use them. I didn't even use most of my textbooks. I can tell you that right now. YouTube will be your best friend. And my other advice is have support. Have people that will support you on the days that you are down. Have people that are able to take in your kids to watch for a couple hours. That way you have that mental break or able to study and focus. Shout out to my mother-in-law who watched our kids while I went to school. Like that was really hard for me, and I know it was hard for her, but I I couldn't have finished it without her, honestly. So I do thank her. And I do thank a lot of people who would just tell me to keep pushing. And for those people who have been watching my journey since day one, thank you guys. You will be a nurse. Do not let your grades define that you're not going to be a nurse. You are. You will. C's get degrees. Just stay positive. You will get there. You will finish. It took me 5 years, but I finished anyway. So just push through. I feel like the next video I'll probably make is me getting my first job and how nursing new grad is going. And I know it's not going to be easy being a new nurse because we are still learning. We really are. We don't learn shit from nursing school. I wish you guys the best. If you guys have any questions or any questions that I missed, comment down below and I'd be happy to answer your question. Go follow my Etsy page right here, Always Nursing. I'm going to be posting some notes that I did create during my Nclex study. Very colorful, very visual, because that's how I like it. It may not be perfect for you, but it helped me. Yeah, I would say that's my advice, and good luck.